They didn't give us our 40 acres and a mule. Can you imagine? Wait a minute, y'all can't imagine this. You work us for 246 years for free, and then when we are free, you don't give us a dime. You don't even give us a pair of shoes. You don't say, okay, here's a dress or a pair of pants. You got some clothes. You just free. And that's why, this is why I say to people, and I say this in the East all the time, because we have a lot of European immigrants in the East. I said, don't ever say anything to me about an African American. Nothing. You can't, there's no word you can say about African Americans. I don't care what you think, you cannot say a word to me about African American. We got our freedom because we fought for it. 200,000 African men and women fought in the Civil War. And when we were finished with our fighting and we gained our freedom after fighting, we got our freedom with nothing. We started with nothing. Let me tell you something. In 1865, that's 1865. When was the gold rush in America? 1849. The 49ers. Where were we in 1849? In slavery. When the white people gained all this land and property in Minnesota and all these other places and took the land from the Native Americans, I'm glad we were not involved in that too much. But they were doing all this while we were in slavery. What about colleges? They had all these colleges that had 200 years of education on us. They already got it. They had gone to school, owning property, everything. And when Africans were freed, they didn't give us our 40 acres and a mule so we could start with something, have a little token, to say start your own garden or something. So you're just free. You're just out on your own. And so that's why I say you can't talk to me about African American. You talk to me about African American, I have to tell you to go somewhere. No people that I know of has ever come as far as African Americans have come against such odds. I don't know it. I don't know that history. I only know the history of what has been our opposition. My father never voted in Georgia because the Ku Klux Klan would not allow him to vote. And so Barack Obama is the president. But the majority of white people didn't vote for him. And 60% of all the white people over 45 years of age, they tell me, are Republicans. They didn't vote for Barack Obama. So don't tell me about America and the African American history and culture and what African people do. Oh, no. Our achievements have been in spite of. Our achievements have been over the hurdles. They put a hurdle in front of you, you just jump over the hurdle. That's what people have had to do. Paul Laurence Dunbar had to do it to get heard as a poet. Langston Hughes had to do it to get heard as a poet. Rosa Parks was put off a bus, arrested for just riding a bus. Can you imagine that? You can't imagine it now. But just riding a bus. A black woman just arrested for riding on the bus. Imagine it. Think about it. Teach your children about it. Raise these questions. And then ask yourself, as African Americans, what must we do now? As students, what must we do to prove to our elders and our ancestors that their lives have not been in vain? Because they did a lot. They were clever, smart. Mr. Tharp, one of my teachers in high school, said he took a basketball team to Mississippi from Tennessee back in the 40s to play. And one of the boys threw some chewing gum out of the bus window and it landed on a white woman's car. She called the police. When he saw the police coming, Mr. Tharp said, I took my belt off and I started beating the student. When the police came, he looked, saw that I was beating him, and said, okay, you're taking care of it. And he said, some of the students asked me, Mr. Tharp, why you beat Johnny like that? He said, because we're in Mississippi and I wanted to save his life. Mm-hmm. That's the wisdom, the cleverness. You see? That our elders had to have that. That's a lot, and we've lost a lot of that. That's why a lot of brothers get arrested for little or nothing, right? Because they don't know how to stay to fight another day. And I'll tell you something. During the civil rights struggle, Martin Luther King Jr. knew, he understood that he could not lead a violent revolution against white America as much as he may have wanted to. It would have been suicide, genocide. Just cannot do that. Nonviolence. Because nonviolence, we take the moral high ground. There's wisdom. And I say all this because I want you to understand that this history is long and it's not finished. It will not be finished until we have at all the colleges and universities strong African American studies departments where people feel that it's okay to teach full American history. There should be nothing wrong. I mean, every university should be like Temple. President of Temple University said, no university in America can be great if it does not have African American studies. This is a word. He said, how can you? We live in America. You have 40 or 45 million African Americans here from the very beginning, and slavery is the only major epic of America's history. You gotta deal with it. One way or the other. It was there. It cannot be dismissed. And if you don't deal with it, we continue to delay the issue. James Weldon Johnson said it best. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our parents sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter, out of the gloomy past, till now we stand at last where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. Thank you very much.